folks, it's Audio Who. And look at this, it's Saturday night. How's that for a change of pace? Due to my inavailability tomorrow, we are recording this evening. And it is the third part of the supposed new 1990s unit trilogy, with Sylvester McCoy as the 7th Doctor and Tracy Childs returning as Dr. Elizabeth Klein. We have Daniel Hopkins back in tow and the after effects of Colin Baker's Cyberman invasion. We have Linda Maxwell back, and we have the newly in charge Corporal McKenna or McKenna? Is it McKenna?
McKenna.
McKenna, who eagle-eared viewers might know as Richard Gibson, Herr Flick from Hello Hello. Go figure. Was Sylvester McCoy a nincompoop? You're about to find out. Before we get to that, well, let's get to this. It's your panel who showed up this evening. Joining us in Matt, it's Sue. How are we doing, Sue?
Fine, thanks.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
You're always a pleasure. I'll remember NYC, Mr. Will Medina. How goes it, Will?
Hey, now, how you doing, everybody?
Good to see you, mate. Well, from Texas, Tim Wells. How's it going, Timbo?
Hello there.
Good to see you, mate. And of course, you all know me. Excuse me while I drink some tea. Yeah, there we go. So, Warlocks Cross. Interesting tale. We pick up in the early 1990s, roughly 93, 94. Supposedly in Earth years, 7.5 years after the events of Colin Baker's stint. We have an entity known as SHIP that is crash landed within the vicinity. And as you have mysterious whispering voices enticing people to listen to their innermost darkest desires and their beliefs. Where to begin with this tale? It's an interesting one, and Daniel Hopkins is as insane and somewhat tragic as ever. Okay, guys, opening thoughts, mate. Well, Warlocks Cross, Sylvester McCoy and Tracy Childs.
This is the third story with, like you said, Daniel Hopkins. But in the opening statement, you say he's a tragic character. Yeah, he's a tragic character because his family passed away.
Well, hang on, sorry, mate. I'm getting somebody playing a recording. I'm getting some feedback for the background. No?
It was somebody's head, that's right. He's a tragic character, but the thing is, in this story, you realize he's not really a tragic character for as many years since the last story. Mm-hmm. And instead of him learning from it, after he woke up from his supposed coma like that, he still has the desire to become a Cyberman and wants the Earth to burn. Mm-hmm. So in a way, to me, he's not a tragic character like that. Because the female who was, you could say, had a post-hypnotic suggestion for many years and lost her memory, she hadn't seen her family herself. She's a more tragic character, and that's a bad thing. Of course, this doctor, the 7th Doctor, came in and tried to help as he could from, I don't know if he came really to help Daniel or just to deal with Klein, but this situation dealt with because the Klein had to help the doctor also. Mm. And of course, this ship that was controlling people, and a lot of people have been killed by it. What was weird is that, yeah, you had a character there that was one of the exposed unit, and of course, Paul.
The resistance fighter, the red shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was his name again?
His name was Gregory Lord.
That was the actor, was it?
Yeah, no, that's the character name.
The character.
He was played by Tom Milligan.
Okay.
And I thought really was just the exposure of unit to the world like that, even though some people really knew about it.
Yeah.
And like you said, this character became a racial like that. But to me, you can say Maxwell was more the pathetic character of her memory being lost. But the funny thing is, even though we know about the ship crashing so many years ago and the pilot dying, one died and the other one dying later on, we don't. I don't think I remember ever hearing where this ship came from at all. Where is it originating from? That it crashed, to Earth like that. And of course, at the end of the story, even though the doctor dealt with the ship, put it to sleep, so to speak, we haven't heard nothing what's happened to the ship. The unit like rip it apart, take its pieces, or anything like that. So that's a little bit of a weird thing. And another thing that I didn't like was that Daniel Hopkins doesn't have an ending. He just still let them moping and griping, hoping the Cybermen would come back. And so you don't have you could say a finale for that character. It's a good story, but there's certain stuff that they should have had an answer to, because this came out a few years ago, so we know it should have been. If it was going to be more updated, like say with this character, it could have been done already.
I think the problem is at this point, Big Finish have got 2 or 3 different storylines per Doctor now. They just take a while to get into things. I mean, we're just now next year getting back into post, King Volcano's Perry after about 5 freaking years. So we'll see how they go with that. But fair points, Phil. Tim, over the first.
Yeah, I don't think Daniel is a sympathetic character at all. I think he's a traitor who's going quietly insane in jail, which is what he deserves. I mean, basically he comes out and faffs around a little bit and then goes back into his cell and starts practicing his sevens. Speaking of which, Seven is very good in this, I think.
I agree.
But I found the overall story a bit of a damp squib. I thought it was just kind of, I think Klein was a bit underused. I thought, it seemed like they could have done more with her character. Also, I think some of the writing was a bit bad. It was almost like it was too expositional. Like, hey, Graham, how are we doing on this cast here that we're having to talk about Doctor Who? You know what I mean? I know it's hard to write audio.
Spiffingly, yes. Yeah.
It's hard to write natural audio and tell the story and let the listener know what's going on. But this was very clumsy in a lot of places. I thought, like, oh, you mean that time that you did this thing or the other that, back last week when nobody was paying it, this kind of, it's just kind of clumsy.
It's one that I see where you're coming from, because basically you would have had to have heard that to know what the hell they were talking about. You're like, so what's the point of describing it? Yeah.
Sometimes I think they should have a narrator. I mean, sometimes they could save a lot of time and it wouldn't come across, they wouldn't have to have stupid dialogue. But I don't know, I thought this wasn't all that. I thought, there was a very funny line in it though, that it was either Klein or the Doctor who said, yeah, we didn't have much alien invasions in the 90s. And I thought that's because you weren't.
It was Klein. Yeah.
The show was off the air for that time. So, yeah, that was the best thing about it. Really.
That was quite good, yeah.
It wasn't bad. I just don't think, like Will said, I don't think it paid off that well for a trilogy.
Yeah.
I don't think, the only tragedy as far as that character of Daniel goes, because he was such a nice guy in the first story.
And obviously his family perished, but yeah.
Yeah, but even then, too. I mean, still, you don't become a traitor to your race.
No. I probably agree with you a bit of that. I mean, like you say, it's not bad. There just seems to be, what I alluded to, that for Will, there's always threads. For you, there's clumsy writing. So I suppose that the truth lies somewhere in between, which tends to always be the case. But I didn't mind it. Sue, open the thoughts for you.
Yeah, I had enjoyed watching Hopkins.
Really? Then I'm fucking mystified because I've not watched them yet.
No, but I mean, like, go crazy. I mean, he having been a Cyberman or partly
almost,
partway through the conversion process, it made him a difficult ally. So here he was, and then it was sort of interesting. Klein wasn't super bright and shiny like she could have been. She was intelligent, but she wasn't like. I mean, here she'd gone through so much change. And now she's just sort of like, she's like an Osgood. She's like not
oh dear God.
Not doing too much of anything, but trying to push on, And so, yeah, I just kind of was like, okay, where did the Klein go that was so intense?
All right.
Anyway.
Okay.
That's my opening thoughts.
Fair enough. The flaws in the story, folks, have been well documented. I'd agree that with the guys to some extent. Tracy Charles, Elizabeth Klein was underused in the story. It was more like she was shoehorned in as a guest spot, just to give us a wee update. Oh, this is what she's doing now. But which is fine, I mean, for what she was given, she wasn't bad. She was good at it. But it was, with the exception of part 4, where she's trying to stop Sly from going fucking insane. She didn't really do much. I do find it interesting that parts 1 through 3 seems to be one story on its own, and then part 4 totally goes after rails into this other bit where it's like, okay, they're going back to the past, and now the whispers are in his head, and it was as if they shoehorned in an extra part with a different subplot, and I'm going, what the hell? But, they tried to resolve it all into one 4-parter come the last 10 minutes of this thing. So you can't really grumble. For the end of the trilogy, though, the guys are right. It's not the best payoff, but there's a hell of a lot worse out there in audio land. See Cryptobiosis and a few others. So yeah, but this might be the reason why you're beginning to see a lot more box sets exclusives per Doctor. I think in the next 3 to 5 years, the main range will be completely phased out, and you're going to have 8 1-hour stories per year per Doctor, like they've been doing with Tom Baker. The whole 2 hours 35-minute thing is just becoming a bit, I don't want to say stale, but if you've not got a tightly knit good story, it's not really worth the investment time, because you end up with, you know.
It gives them the option if they want to do the 2 hours. So you just make it a 2-part. Then it's the same.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, like the Sutek thing we just recently covered. So yeah, they could always pull it off that way. But that notwithstanding, guys, we'll see how they go with that in terms of the production. Anything else stand out for you regarding the tale, other than your concerns with it? Well, anything stand out, Matt?
What was surprising that stood out was the seventh Doctor being mind controlled, you know, in that last chapter like that,
Yeah.
and of course Klein had to help him. But like again, was a total shock was Daniel was not influenced at all
No.
by the Cybermen or the ship.
No, that's why Tim's right. By the time you get to the end of the story, no empathy, no sympathy.
No
Rot
sympathy,
yourself, motherfucker. You know, yeah.
which is unusual. And because when they did the part when the right I think in the 4th chapter that you see Maxwell was going into the ship with all the people from UNIT like that, and he was aware what was going to happen, and then right there she became, and then as it come she knew that when she got her memory back that she remembered that he was there.
Okay.
When she lost
Yeah.
You know, she lost some
Well,
years.
and essentially, Maxwell is the key at the start of this story because she's the one who's influenced originally by the ship that starts the whole chain of events in motion after the events of the 7 years prior. So that's a fair point.
That's what shocked me right there. And you can say the Colonel, you know, he stood up because he's still acting like by the book soldier, and that's how come he was called a fascist by the red shirt.
Yeah.
But what was unusual that it took him quite a while to realize that he was also influenced by shit, because he was about to do what shit wanted him to do, was to blow it up the ship.
Indeed. Yeah.
That's what stood out.
Okay, that's cool. Tim, anything for you?
Oh, my favorite part in the story was really cool to me because it was kind of spooky when all of a sudden Klein started hearing voices. And
yeah.
they all did, but I mean, first it was her, and at first her first thinking was that that's one of her alternate timelines talking to her or trying to influence her. I thought that was brilliant because I was like, wow, I really picked up my ears at that one. I was like, because if it's going to go in that direction, that's going to be a trip. They didn't go in that direction.
Damn.
But as far as these protesters or whatever they were, they could just go back to their mama's basement. I mean, there's always a bunch of stupid anti-military protesters like that in any government, in any organization. And the truth is, they don't know what the hell they're talking about because you need the military to protect, you know, to do jobs and stuff. So I mean, just shut up and run back to your mama's basement.
Yeah, these folks unfortunately suffer from delusions of grandeur and listening to rumour and innuendo. So there you go. Sue, anything for you?
Well, I guess my favorite part was when 7th Doctor was going to change history.
Right at the end, okay.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. You know, it's a different take on his usual rules of the road. Anyway, so there was that, and then there was also the bit at the very beginning where he was like, "Oh, have you heard of Brigadier Bambera?" With all the rolling R's. I was like, yes, and guy hadn't heard of him.
Yeah, at which point?
Heard of the bloke.
Yeah, well, at which point, you know, Richard Gibson, you know, yeah, like you say, I hadn't heard of the bloke. But yeah, yes, Sly, we are aware this takes place after Battlefield and Animal. Just saying.
Sadly, nobody knew who she was.
Yeah, there you go. I guess she, you know. Maybe they didn't have the clearance to read her file. But there you go. Sorry, sir, were you done?
Yeah.
No, okay. Some good choices in there, guys. For me, right at the beginning of the story, good old Sly rocks up. You know, and within 5 minutes of talking to McKenna, he's slapped bang, caged up, and you've got the whole chess-playing, manipulative Seventh Doctor. He's in the cage, he's talking to who he wants to talk to. It's Daniel Hopkins, and you're off to the races. Obviously, that takes a wee bit of a sidetrack off the dirt road when we get to the end of part 3, and he's listening to the voices from ship now, and Times Champion's going a bit gaga. But yeah, sorry, Andrew Cartmel, still no master plan. But we digress. And with that, guys, open mic portion of the cast. Anything you want to bring up before it gets rated, zippoed, and in the history books?
Well, one thing that has to happen is the Klein character has to come back, because at the end of this, it sounds like she's going to retire from unit. So it'd be
In which case, does she have to come back?
well, at least to find out what's been happening after that. Did she write a book? Did she working somewhere else like that? And
That'll be a quite short audio. Maybe we can do that in a short trip. I wrote the book.
And then, of course, we know we haven't listened yet to the court martial of Daniel. He did murder the colonel in the last story, so he has to go on trial for that. And of course, betraying the Earth. So
Oh, that's right. We go Lieutenant Price back in a cameo in part 4 because it was in the past.
Mhm.
I forgot about that. But here's the thing. Does Richard Gibson's Colonel McKenna get court-martialed for killing the red shirt? Or does that just get swept under the rug?
Oh.
Well, in a way, remember, she was still influenced by shit, so you could say it's not her fault.
Well, his fault, but yeah.
Well, you know.
Yeah. Don't get your his and hers mixed up, especially in 2019, man.
Well, yeah.
That's the ultimate.
I'm confusing McKenna with Maxwell.
Yeah, Maxwell, Linda Maxwell. That's cool, man. No problem. Anyway,
That's another one, because she's going to put in for retirement too, because of what happened.
she's going to get one hell of a payout, so money. Yeah. God bless capitalism. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, before Brexit takes it away.
It's odd that they're dabbling around in this intermittent unit kind of thing when they've already got a present unit day, going on, and they've just gotten all the characters back for their historic unit from the third Doctor.
I guess they were just filling in the gap between late 80s to early 2000s.
Well, I mean, if Klein does come back, I'm guessing it would be in a unit type story where she's actually in charge and actually doing something. It seems like they haven't really utilized her in that fashion, except in Dominion, and even then too, she was a side character to Doctor. So I mean, it was like this is the first story she's been in that's not really about her.
Yeah, and, like I said, maybe a guest spot here. Yeah,
Yeah, she was kind of moving that way in the Heliacs and the Cybermen.
She wasn't in those.
She wasn't in this. What were you watching it?
Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, I hope she returns, but I think that they've kind of closed off that whole business about whether or not she's a Nazi or something. So
no, that's done. That was basically done after the whole talking sharks fucking whammy done. But sharks in space. Still can't believe that, man. Fucking hell. Thank you, John Donley. Anything else, guys? No. Alrighty. I guess it's that time again.
We in Naughty Who would give our sympathy to the family of Valerie Hopper who passed away yesterday. We miss our boy.
Yes, what was it, 85?
80.
80? That's still not bad innings these days, especially with all the bullets kicking around that can unfortunately end their life so early. So, yep, condolences to her family. And with that, guys, it's ratings time. Warlocks Cross. Big Finish main range, story number 234. Sylvester McCoy, Tracy Childs, and Richard Herflick. You're an incomplete. Gibson.
It's 244.
Oh, fuck off, whatever. Main range anyway, 7th Doctor, look up, people. That's what Google's for. So, what do you guess out of 10?
I'll give this a 7 out of 10.
Oh, ironic. How respectable of you. Okay, Timbo, critique aside, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I give it a 7 as well. I think it's not horrible, but it's just a bit meh.
Okay.
So, 7's good.
As we always say, folks, it can't all be zingers. NYC, well, what's the number?
I give it a 7.5, but I'd like to know what's going to happen with Daniel character. If he comes back in the future story, with it would be the 7 or somebody else. I like to know.
Frog marched out and hung.
You know, I'd be interested if he appears in the unit box there. You see what's up with that. That'd be interesting to see.
Alrighty, and I will make it a Desmond Tutu here this evening by saying 7.5 as well. Yeah, I don't give a flying fuck about Daniel Hopkins, but I wouldn't mind another one with Klein if it was the right story. We'll see what happens down the road with regards to that. I mean, it's still kind of hanging with what happened after the Young Aerosmith trilogy. Nothing's happened with that, and that's been over nearly, what, 2 years? I don't know if that was just okay, he's not that very good. We're just going to leave that hanging, but whatever. So, yep, guys, done, finito, and in the can for the evening. It just leaves us to divulge what we were tackling in 2 weeks' time. We are back on the gravy train of Paul McGann's 8th Doctor. And guess what, folks? It's a new one to the archive with new stories from the end of season 1 of the new 8th Doctor adventures with Sheridan Smith's Lucy Miller. And, well,
The title is The Dalek Trap.
The Dalek Trap. Yes, we'll see if it's Dalek fatigue or if Nicholas Briggs pulls off another masterclass and the Daleks are actually used to a very competent level. We look forward to tackling that one.
I'm like they take you into the room with the Daleks and bore you to death.
Well, yeah, explain. Yeah. So we'll see how that one goes. Paul McGann and Sheridan Smith in 2 weeks' time, and we'll hopefully have a few more of the crew on board. Please check out our mates and buddies and the wonderful wackety world of the YouTube. You get the guys and dolls there at Geeks Assemble with the TV audio heads and the movie reviews. You get Dr. Freedom and his news broadcasts, Omega Files, and the adventures of Dr. Freedom and Eric. You've got our buddies online, Mike Shannon, Johnny Boyers, Sammy Carter. You know the drill by now, folks. We're off telling you to watch this. Like, share, comment, subscribe, even though nobody ever does. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm going to get drunk. It's Saturday night. There's a little soccer match on tomorrow. I'm going to go and kick hell at people on the street. Be nice to yourself, folks, and each other, and we'll see you down the road. Fuckity bye.